Remember this scene from earlier this month when heavy rain and flooding trapped tens of thousands of people at the Burning Man Festival in Nevada. And people on social media drew comparisons to the Fyre Fest from 6 years ago. You probably heard about this when guests paid big bucks to attend, but in turn were met with widespread chaos like insufficient accommodations and a lack of water. And get this, the man behind Fyre Fest just announced Fyre Festival 2 and tickets are reportedly sold out. So we're diving deeper into this topic this morning, and we really wanted to know what would still drive people to buy tickets despite so much recent chaos when it comes to festivals. Well, we've got the right person to join us about that. Talking to us live with Insight is clinical marketing professor at the University of Michigan, Marcus Collins. Marcus, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, we've got a lot to talk about. So, I mean, this is just head-scratching. Tickets to Fyre Fest 2 reportedly sold for $499 each. After seeing what happened at the first Fyre Fest, why in the world would people want to buy these?
You know, there's a theory called the gap in knowledge. And the gap in knowledge theory says this, that the unknown acts as a cognitively induced deprivation, where we just want to close the gap in knowledge to understand why things are and what things are. And considering just how catastrophic the first one is, people are just curious to see, is this going to be the same kind of train wreck? And the interesting part about that is that they're not alone, that there's going to be a community in this sense of experiencing what might be, a disastrous event. But experiencing those things together actually creates a bond. And I would argue that these festivals, these concerts, are more than just musical happenings. They're actually cultural experiences that bond people together, and they become stories that people tell to other people as a means of producing social currency. And it's a really powerful thing.
Wow, thinking about the psychology behind that is so fascinating. So, Marcus, a ticket to Coachella, it starts at $499 a piece, and some are already sold out before the artist lineup is even announced. How does that happen? Are people not going for the music? If so, why are they attending? What are some other reasons?
Yeah, people show up because people show up. You know, nothing draws a crowd like a crowd. And to your point, people show up for Coachella because it is a cultural happening and they want to be a part of it. We're social animals by nature, right? So we're given to be in community. We have a push. It's just in our DNA to want to connect. And these festivals, these events become ways by which community is developed, become ways by which community facilitates the social bonds, the covalent bonds that connect us all. And being a part of it feels like you are a part of a thing, just to have taken part of it. You know, it's like people who went to Woodstock back in the 60s. To say they were there, it demarcates who they are and how they partook in a life-altering cultural happening that becomes a tentpole of our history in a lot of ways.
Well, and social media has got to be playing a role in this. And in fact, a little humble brag for you, just this low-key job, head of digital strategy for one, Beyonce. How does the digital strategy for artists create that hype where people really want to spend a lot of money on a ticket?
Social media is very powerful in that way. I mean, the idea of social media is it is the media of people, and it becomes an accelerant to what we normally refer to as word of mouth. And what happens is that when I see people like myself, people who subscribe to the same cultural affiliation, people who are my friends, my families, my teammates, my classmates, my people, when I observe their behavior, it becomes points of receipts of what I should do. And this is how powerful culture is. Culture moves forward on the basis of one simple question. Do people like me do something like this? The answer is yes, we do it. The answer is no, we don't. And social networking platforms provide visibility, social proof that provides signals to know what I should do. I write about it in great length in my book, For the Culture, and talking about how we use that with Beyonce. Right? Beyonce dropped her album, self-titled Beyonce, a few years back, and it wasn't through any advertising that people found out about it. They found out about it through The Hive, her her fans, her community, her tribe, her people. And those people propagated across their social connections through the facilitation of these technologies that help the ideas spread and propagate across our population without any need of media. And it does so in a more powerful way than advertising ever could. It does so through the credence of people, because people trust people more than any form of marketing communication. Whether in
Wow.
print, out of home, radio. I mean, we trust strangers more than we trust marketers, which should be super sobering for marketers for sure.
Whoa, getting an inside look. I mean, just the psychology and dynamics at play. Professor Marcus Collins, thank you so much for joining us this morning.